Hi, everybody. If you couldn't tell by the title of this video, we're pregnant. Very much a shock, and you will know why if you follow me on Instagram. Tell you a little bit about this cycle if you're just seeing this video for the first time. This was our first cycle using uh, what's it called? Letrozole. I had a moment. This was our first cycle using letrozole. We used Clomid last cycle and it did not work. So this was a change up that my doctor had recommended, my RE had recommended. I had stopped temping like a year ago because it was just becoming too much. So I did not temp through my cycle, so I don't know the exact date that I ovulated. I have a pretty good idea based off of like ovulation symptoms. So I had taken a pregnancy test at 13 DPO, and it was stark white, like so freaking white. There wasn't even a hint of a line. Like I've had pregnancy tests where it looked like maybe there could be a line, but this was just so definitively no that I was like, all right, well, that's it. You know, AF's going to show up tomorrow and that's going to be the end of it. And then AF didn't show up the next day, which isn't like irregular, like which isn't crazy because I sometimes have irregular cycles. And then it didn't show up the next day, and I was like, well, you know, if it doesn't show up the day after that, I think I'm going to test again. And then I started reading that I had taken maybe the wrong test. I had taken a first response rapid result and not a first result, early result. So I had read on the internet that that test may not be as sensitive. So I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I just took the wrong kind of test. Let me test again. So on Tuesday, which was Tuesday of last week, which I guess would have been 16 DPO based off of when I think I ovulated. I was in the afternoon and my husband and I were having a discussion and I just had like a complete meltdown. Like I just, for some reason in my mind, I thought he was gonna leave me and that he was ready to just walk out the door. And this was unprovoked. We were not in a fight. He didn't say anything. It was just like this weird, irrational thought. And I was just like on the verge of tears. And I went upstairs and I was like, you know what? I still have that other pregnancy test from the box. Let me just go ahead and take it. So it was 5:48 p.m. I remember the time exactly. I walked out of the bathroom. I left the test on the counter. And I remember thinking to myself, like I do every single time, that this could be the moment that changes our lives. But don't get too, excited because it might not happen. And I walked into the bathroom and it was just clear as day. There were two lines. And I was shaking and I was like, oh my God, like this is really happening. So I just immediately walked downstairs and like walked into the living room. My husband was sitting in the living room and I said, have I been acting weird lately? And he goes, and he just kind of looked at me and I was like, because if I have, this is why. And I showed him the test and he was very quiet and he just asked me if it was real, which why would I ever give him a fake pregnancy test? I don't know. But it took a little while for him to, like, I think, soak it all in. You know, after you've been doing this for a really long time and you've never seen a positive pregnancy test, it just, I think the moment is very shocking. At least it was in our case. So I think it took like a good week for it to be like, okay, this could actually really be happening to us. And I think that's why I haven't made a video until now. I did post it on my Instagram. I think I took like a three days to finally post it on Instagram. But I went in for a beta blood test that following day, which would have been, I believe, 17 DPO, if my calculations were correct. And my beta was a 243. I went back in 2 days later and it was a 707. So it had more than doubled. It had almost tripled. So my RE was very happy with all of that and suggested that we come back 10 to 14 days later for an ultrasound. My work is really busy starting next week. Yay. And it's just something that I'm not even going to be in town. So we're getting the ultrasound done like exactly on the 14th day. So not for another 10 days from now will we be getting our first ultrasound. So I've just kind of been in limbo, waiting, being hopeful. I've had a good amount of what I believe is morning sickness. I haven't thrown up or anything, but I have been nauseous. I have pretty consistent headaches throughout the day. I've had some mild cramping and some pains in like the sides of my stomach and in my lower back. But that's been about it. We have not told anybody, not even my parents. I think we are waiting for the ultrasound before we tell anybody, because we kind of want to tell at least my side of the family where everyone is together, and we have a get together for Father's Day in a couple weeks, and so I think that would be a good time to tell everybody. We will tell my husband's father probably before that, just because it's going to be him only, because my mother-in-law's not around anymore. So there have been a few times where I think my husband's been a little sad about all of this, just because he now knows that his mom won't be around for it, and that changes a lot of our plans, because she was going to be our kind of child care, because they're the only family that we have that live, nearby. My family lives nearby, but they're still a good hour and a half away. So it's not something I can go visit them every single day. But so we're just kind of reevaluating now what all of this will mean as far as childcare and my job. I really, 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 really want to stay at my job. So I think we're just going to have to make it work. Anyways, that's probably too much for this video. So if you know me in real life, since I haven't told anybody, don't tell anybody else. There are a few people in my real life who know, but most of them are just TTC people. So I'd appreciate you keeping it mum. All right. I hope to put up another video soon, maybe after we have our ultrasound. So bye.